Hey, what's up guys? This is Rob, and you are of course on Rule of Two Review, and I have something to say. This is something I think is pretty important to say, and it's weird because this is normally the kind of video that I wouldn't really make. I'm not usually quick to jump into any drama, if you want to call this drama, and I don't usually like to rush to the defense of companies, even when I feel like I want to, because I just feel like it gets you kind of involved with some of the other kind of deep-seated BS kinds of conversations and basically drama that other people get involved in. And that's just not me. Like, I love any one company or any one person, and I will defend them when it really makes sense, but I try to avoid it on Rule of Two Review in the YouTube channel because it just, sometimes it sends the wrong message, and it's really not what the channel, what Rule of Two Review is actually about, even though it hurts when people say and do stupid things revolving around a company or a person that you love. But this is something that I just have to talk about because I'm a little confused about something. I'm confused about what other people are confused about regarding Nintendo and Nintendo Directs. After this week's Nintendo Direct, which happened April 1st, 2015, now just yesterday, there's been what I feel is more talk than normal after this Nintendo Direct about whether or not it was good or bad, and what it means if it was good or bad, and for those who seem to think that it wasn't a good Nintendo Direct, which blows my mind, by the way, I just have to say, those who think that it wasn't a good Nintendo Direct, which is totally fine if that is how you feel, are really going after Nintendo for this right now, and I'm not quite sure why. I'm also not sure why my video is going dark, and so sorry if that looked really weird. I think it's getting, dark and lighter for some dumb reason, so looks like it's okay for now. Anyway, so I don't really understand why people are going after Nintendo so hardcore for this Nintendo Direct. Some surprising people have even started talking about it, very public figures. Review Tech USA, Angry Joe, two channels that I love, and I still love even after these examples I'm about to make. I really love Angry Joe, and I think that Rich, who runs Review Tech USA, is actually a pretty legit guy. He has very open-minded opinions. He's not very hateful. He speaks his mind. And he doesn't always love everything that I love, but that's okay. Because he does it in a way that I think is fair, and he at least really justifies his point of view. And that's all you can ever really ask of anyone. It is totally unfair for you to say, I have my opinions, and you either agree with them, or if you don't, no matter why you might not agree with them, fuck you, you're wrong. That's too many people do that. We know that everyone's guilty of it, and I just can't stand that stuff. So that's why I like those guys, for example. But those guys, I mean, they're making videos about Nintendo needs to adapt or die, or what the fuck Nintendo, after this Nintendo Direct. Basically seeing this Nintendo Direct, which they didn't like, again, which is totally okay, is the sign that Nintendo is so lost and doesn't know what they're doing. And, of course, you probably know me, and you know that I love Nintendo more than any other company out there, despite loving and supporting all of the manufacturers and consoles and PC. Nintendo's my jam. That's my shit. I love the Wii U. It's my favorite platform to play games on right now, and I think that that's going to continue through probably this whole generation, because Nintendo's awesome. They always are awesome. Even when they fuck up, which they do fuck up, they're still awesome. So, anyway, the problem I have is why people, I think it really comes down to people just not understanding what a Nintendo Direct is. And that's why I wanted to have this quick conversation and make this video face-to-face, which, I normally try not to do as often on Rule of Two Review, except for when I'm moving, about why it's baffling and frustrating and angering to me that because of people's ignorance, and I have to use that word, because of people's ignorance towards what a Nintendo Direct's purpose actually is and what Nintendo is doing with those, that they're claiming that Nintendo doesn't know what they're doing, or they're not delivering the goods to us, the gamer, or the Nintendo fan. And what I ask those people to do is look at the alternative. What is Sony doing? What is Microsoft doing? What is Valve doing? What is Square doing? What is Bethesda doing? What is Warner Brothers doing? What is Electronic Arts doing? What is Ubisoft doing? The answer to all of those is nothing. They're not doing anything that comes right to you, right to us, right to me, the gamers, the people who buy and love and support these products and spend our money that we work for. They're not doing anything for us to show us their products, to get us excited, to give back to us, to have conversations and messages directed right to us that we can follow and get excited for every couple of months. and say, here's some surprises, here's just information on stuff that you care about, or maybe you don't know about it yet, or you don't care about it yet. Maybe this will help. Here you go, it's for free, it happens every couple of months, you're welcome. And I think that that is amazing that Nintendo offers this. It's not hurting anybody for them to go out of their way to make these presentations for us and say, here's a bunch of shit that you're probably going to love. Again, you're welcome. And I like Sony a lot, and I like Microsoft. I love my PS4 and my Xbox One, and I have 2 really good gaming PCs and a 3DS. Like, I love everybody. This is, I promise you, not coming from a position of bias. Yes, Nintendo's my favorite, but I support everybody. But I have to admit that one of the reasons that I love Nintendo is because they do things like a Nintendo Direct. So I don't understand why somebody goes out of their way to give us all this information about something that we love, something that they're willing to do, and that requires obviously a lot of time and effort, and is almost like a thank you. Yes, they're selling product to us, and they're getting us excited about things that we would just go and spend our money on so that Nintendo can make money, obviously. But they're a business, that's okay. You know, honestly, if you love Nintendo, or if you love Sony, for example, you should want Sony to do something similar. Where it's like, why don't you give back to the Sony fan who's really excited about your next God of War or your next Uncharted game? Why doesn't Sony do something where it's like, here's a bunch of, I don't know, trailers and information and surprises and free download codes and information about special little figures and pre-order bonuses or whatever. Direct messages right to you, the Sony and the PlayStation fan. Wouldn't that be awesome? You would love that, right? So why are people so upset about Nintendo doing this? Obviously, one of the main reasons we know is preconceived notions about what it's supposed to be. This isn't E3. People say this all the time, and it is so fucking true. This isn't E3. They're not trying to drop major bombs every couple of months. Obviously, they want to wait for the real moments that it makes sense for them to do so, such as E3, when they know that everybody is watching them, not just Nintendo fans or the casual Nintendo fan. They are going to wait till maybe Tokyo Game Show or Game Developers Conference and things like that. I mean, or maybe do their own thing if they ever bring back something like Space World. I mean, that would be great, you know? And honestly, even when Sony did the PlayStation Experience, by the way, in December, that was great. Like, what if people started getting mad at that, saying, oh, it wasn't exactly how I wanted it to be, so Sony is dumb, they're totally fucked, and the PlayStation sucks because I didn't like what the PlayStation Experience had to offer. That would be stupid. And PlayStation Experience was actually pretty damn cool. So good on you, Sony. Do more stuff like that, you know? So I just don't understand why. Yes, I get that you want a new fucking amazing, you want a Metroid game announced every Nintendo Direct. And you want 3 new Zelda games. And you want a brand new Resident Evil and all these hardcore shooters and all this whatever the fuck you want in every single Nintendo Direct. And it's like, you know what? It doesn't work that way. They're just small presentations meant to give us information about stuff we usually already know about, and sometimes surprises. Yesterday's Nintendo Direct had some great surprises. We got confirmation and gameplay of Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem. What? Like, no one saw that coming. I thought that game was so dead. I even made a video about it a couple of times over how dead I thought that game was. That blew my mind in the best way possible. We got confirmation that Fatal Frame 5 is coming to the West. That's amazing. Those are the kind of games that people who might even be naysayers of the Wii U and Nintendo complain about not having. Well, guess what? They fucking just gave it to you, so you're welcome again. I'm getting so heated. I try not to do this on Rule to Review. It's just not my thing. But this just really bothers me. And yes, a huge part of it is because Nintendo's my favorite company, but the other part is that I just understand the message. I understand what this company, this business is doing for their business, and what this business is giving to its consumer out of I don't want to say the goodness of their heart, because again, they're making money, but just to be great to its consumer, you know? And I mean, again, if a company that I hated, which I can't even think of, I don't really like Ubisoft. So if Ubisoft did something like this, even though I'm not a big fan of them right now, I would be like, wow, that company I hate did something great. Good for you, Ubisoft. Congratulations to people who were excited about that content. I mean, it's not hurting anyone, like I said, for Nintendo to put on these Nintendo Directs and give us information. What, it doesn't justify your Wii U purchase enough? Well, it's not. What is Microsoft doing to justify your Xbox One purchase every 3 months? Oh, that's right. The answer is nothing. So all I'm saying is, don't get mad at the one guy who's trying. If you're going to give the guys who don't do jack shit a pass, it makes no unbelievable flipping god fucking sense to get so mad at the guys who are actually trying. Again, it only comes down to you're welcome, and obviously that means you and most gamers who have a Wii U or are curious about Nintendo should just be saying thank you. People need to not be so ignorant as to what these things are. I don't know why people built it up in their heads that every Nintendo Direct needs to drop a bunch of megatons and always have a surprise, a brand new announcement, tons of new games we've never heard of. What they're doing is confirming all this great information. You know, we found out about Mario Kart DLC, which was great. We found out about a brand new free 200cc mode for Mario Kart. We got crazy new Amiibo information, lots of Splatoon news, 2 surprise Wii U games, and Fatal Frame and Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem. Attack on Titan 3DS. What the hell else was there? Mario Party stuff, probably. I only caught like part of it while it was live. It's stupid. Go to Nintendo's YouTube. You'll see like 15 new videos of all the shit that they gave us, and a lot of it was surprises. We knew those games existed, but it was nice to actually see new information on them. What is the complaint? Nobody has any sort of legitimate complaint. And the idea that they need to adapt or die, or that Nintendo is fading out solely because somebody wasn't happy with a free surprise Nintendo Direct is just mind-boggling. I think that there's something wrong with the gears in your head if you can't comprehend why that doesn't make sense. I just don't know what is wrong with your brain if that's how you look at things. Again, they're doing something great for the consumer. Honestly, for the Nintendo fan. Really, like, Nintendo Directs aren't even meant for everybody like an E3 presentation. Nintendo Directs are meant for Nintendo fans. Again, the other guys should be taking notes. They should be doing more things, even like a PlayStation experience. Something to give back to their fans and to the dedicated gamer. Like, that's a great thing. So, at this point, I'm rambling, and I'm beating a dead horse, which I tend to do. But I really just had to get that out. And man, I feel good. I feel like I woosawed like Will Smith and Bad Boys 2. I feel fantastic. This is, I think, really important stuff for people to take to heart. You know, forgive me because I'm not an angry guy. I'm sure that if you know me or you follow the channel for any length of time, you know that I'm just not an angry person. But this does make me not so much angry, but just really goddamn frustrated. Because I hate lapses in logic, and I hate ignorant people who do ignorant things, you know, like, and I mean, I know it's the internet, so it's like you can't avoid it, but this is just the kind of ignorant people thing that I needed to talk about. I realized I just couldn't get it off of my brain, that people were reacting this way over something that is really just awesome and for free. It's like if your best friend offered you a cheeseburger for free. Like, they went to McDonald's and got a cheeseburger, and then they come over to your house and it's like, oh, hey, you want this cheeseburger? And you're like, fuck you, asshole. And then you kick them out because they offered you a cheeseburger that you didn't have to say yes to. So that's my last analogy. I'm totally done. Thanks for tuning in and dealing with this rant of mine, if you want to call it a rant. Please don't go out of your way to hate the guys that are doing great things for gamers, man. That's what it means to be a gamer. We should just appreciate all these cool things that are out there for any company, for any taste, any game developer, any console. You know, we should just love all these things. And Nintendo, you're the best, man. That's why I love you guys. And thanks for putting on a great Nintendo Direct. Thanks for all the surprises. And I'll be picking up like 90% of those things that you showed me because it was all really awesome. And that's it. I will catch you guys next time on a regular rant-free video for Rule of Two Review.